All right, back with more Melvor Idle. I've been looking forward to getting back to this game for a while. Last time I said I was going to start the day by just booting up the game in the morning and letting a fight against a plant happen to get some defense XP. I didn't realize that there was offline progression in this game, so I took a screenshot of this. This is what popped up when I booted the game up. A whole bunch of herring, a whole bunch of other junk. Curious what the mastery token fishing is. But anyway, I got a lot of stuff to look at in Melvor Idle. I just wanted to make sure y'all saw this. Yeah, it's been 1,269 hours since I last booted Melvor. So after booting this morning, it looks like I got a good chunk of defense levels. I'm level 25 defense. The reason I wanted to do that was to make sure that if I do any active play today that I could get the most out of my combat without having to burn through my food too quickly. I am at 29 bank slots. Wanted to make sure I didn't go over this morning when I started farming. So I don't know if I want to start selling some of this now. I don't know if I can use it right away, to be honest. So maybe selling it is smarter rather than trying to hold on to it when I really can't afford the space. I have apparently 527,000 GP worth of items, so I could pick up cooking, which is what I've been thinking about doing, so I can play a bit more attentively here. My main objective today was to try to fight a steel knight to get more of its steel drops, which are pretty substantial upgrades. But now I have to make the hard decision. Oh, barbarian gloves. Access to barbarian fishing area when equipped. That's cool. I've got nothing in that slot. They have no stats. Barbarian fishing is a thing in RuneScape. That's pretty cool. Gotta be careful opening these chests. Possible items. I can get an amulet of fishing, though. Oh, man. All right, I gotta make some decisions here. I think a lot of this stuff is just junk that I should sell to get the space back and to get some money. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hopefully I don't regret it later. Glass bottles. Old boots. I don't think I can afford to open the chest because I just physically don't have the space for it. Grants mastery pool XP equal to 0.1% of the maximum mastery pool XP for the respective skill. I feel like you just claim it, right? Let me see. Fishing. Can I see my mastery pool XP? Interesting. So the mastery is an interesting idea. Basically, the idea is that you can, in addition to gaining XP in the skill itself, you can also level up the different nodes in the skill. So I can like get sardine mastery or herring mastery or blowfish mastery, I suppose, right? I think that's a really cool idea. Claim tokens in bank. Oh, herring's already at mastery 99. So what is that? Means we don't want to do that anymore. What does that mean exactly? Can I see somewhere? I think there's a way for me to see it. I just have to find it. Receive no junk items from fishing. Skill itself also has mastery. There's a mastery pool. Still only have an iron fishing rod. I want to see what this does. Do I have to actively be fishing to spot? Maybe it's down here. View item mastery unlocks. No longer catch junk. Always catch a minimum quantity of 2 fish. It's part of why I have so many herrings. It's a really cool mechanic. I haven't seen anything like that before. I wonder if you could make something like that work in like RuneScape proper. Okay, so that's all cool. I want to get cooking so I can cook that crazy amount of fish that I got. I still have to decide if I want to sell. God, I could make so much money if I sold. Cooking costs 25k GP. Sapphires are the easiest gem to come by, but I'm also probably going to need them for crafting XP later, so I got to be careful overselling. But I think if I can get some food, then I can attentively farm for a little bit longer, which is something I would very much like to do. So I think I go ahead and I sell enough of these to be able to afford... Yeah, it's a little painful, but it's absorbable. Pick up cooking. You may now use this skill. Okay, so before I do that, let me get my health down so I'm at least regioning while I'm waiting here. So let's go look at combat areas, and we want to fight the Steel Knight? Yeah, this guy. I guess we're in defense right now. I think we probably want... Strength is max hit, which is good. You can cheaply buy the first 10 to 20 levels of mastery on anything before you start, so it's immediately somewhat productive. Okay, that's pretty cool. What's my accuracy against this guy? 52%? Maybe I want more attack. Hey, Steel Scimitar! Hell yeah. I think that's going to be an upgrade. Yeah, that's a huge upgrade. That's like the best possible thing I could have gotten. This is just like RuneScape. It feels so good. Okay, so now my accuracy rating is 59%. I have a better max hit. I attack faster as well, which is nice. I should be able to equip way more potatoes, right? Do I have to go somewhere? Maybe I'm forgetting a mechanic here. Or I have to, like, find the place to make them equipable. Steel boots. I got that one yet. Let's equip is from the inventory. Okay. There it is. Yeah, thank you. Gotcha. Easy peasy. Let me get these boots. That should be pretty helpful. Equip to feet. Oh, I already have steel boots. Oh, I already got that as a drop. Okay. Where can I review my currently equipped items? Is that in the bank somewhere? I feel like I saw it earlier, but I forgot where it went. Is it here? All right. Yeah, so I already have that. That's unfortunate, but there's all kinds of other loot that I can still get. Another scimitar. It's money now. Trying to decide if I want to stay on strength. Those defense levels are paying off here quite a lot. I think I want to get my accuracy up. It's 59%. It's kind of not amazing. Helmets. That's fantastic. Oh, we already have a steel helmet. What do I not have? I have the helmet. I don't have the plate body or the plate legs. Okay. Sorry, it's going to take me a while to get used to this again. I love this game, though. It's like, it's great. I think it captures the feel of RuneScape really, really well. I believe he also drops plate legs, plate body. So those are the last upgrades I would need. I don't know if scimitars are just mathematically better than other weapons. That's how it works in old school RuneScape. They changed it in RS3 a long time ago so that the weapons are more... There's more, like, distinctions between them. Sometimes you want one, sometimes you want the other. I can probably... This guy's actually not too bad, and I have 901 potatoes, and I want to be doing some cooking since I went to the trouble of unlocking it. So I might actually just move on to the next highest knight, which I think is a black knight. He might kick my ass, but we can give him a try at least. And he's quite a bit nastier. Just see... Chance to hit 36% is pretty bad, so even squeezing out a kill here is going to be kind of annoying. Maybe I get lucky, though, and get a... Does he drop like a black scimitar? Black 2H sword? Got way more drops in general. Oh, eating resets my attack interval. Okay, that makes sense. So I can't, like, tick eat. Because I can try to eat immediately after a swing completes. Try to, like, weave it in a little bit. That's where you definitely want food that heals more in one step. This is definitely showing to me that It's great that I can handle the Steel Knight now, but this guy's still a little scary. So let's get one drop from him, and then maybe go back to Steel Knight to try to get the plate body and the plate legs, and then we'll check out cooking, and probably leave it AFK on cooking so I have better food. %36% chance to hit is brutal. His chance to hit is 35%, so my defense levels are definitely helping a lot here. I love the idea of like fighting a monster way before you're supposed to be able to and just getting really lucky on the drop and that changing your route through the game. Yeah, I can see how time expensive it is to like spam potatoes like that. Black weapon would be fantastic. I'll take anything. I think he's... don't know if he can drop nothing. He did drop nothing. That's a bummer. Lame. Switch to this guy. Top back off really quick. Let me go look in the cooking menu, and then we can swap to another thing. Don't think I have to be super attentive to this, fortunately. So I got 92 shrimp. I need to get high enough level to be able to cook all the herrings that I got, which is kind of problematic. Chance to preserve recipe resources. I need to stare at this for a minute. Enable perfect cooks. Chance to double items. Active cook versus passive cook. See, so when I tab out, I'll be passive cooking, but maybe I can do this a little bit faster if I do it actively. It's nice that they even go to the trouble of offering that as an option here. Really want to keep giving me these boots. Kill this guy, and then we're gonna be able... How much does my next thing cost? 50k. Okay, that tracks. So I could technically afford to get another one right now. I do want to get farming up and running soon. Drops aren't worth that much money, unfortunately. Any of these do I have? Had so many. All right, let's give this a shot. So I've got 92 shrimps. Now this is just progressing manually. Why would I take passive ever? Failed to cook. Do I have to like find a furnace and a pot? Or is it like an item that I can obtain in this? I see. But now I just want to select active. Don't think I'm going to get enough levels here to be able to cook anything other than shrimp. I guess we'll see. Beef. Requires level 5, requires level 10. So I might have to go fishing for some more shrimp. But that should go pretty fast, I think, since I got it. I didn't get that many fishing levels. I do heal quite a lot more. Ah, okay. So you said I can buy a furnace and a pot in the shop, or buy access to it in the shop. And I can active cook one, passive cook the other ones. Go ahead and do a force save here. See what mastery does here. Success rate is capped at 99%, except with gloves or the cooking skill cape. Okay. Perfect cooks heal you for extras. The reason you might want to turn perfect cook off is that it takes up another inventory slot to have a perfect shrimp and a regular shrimp, I assume. Don't think I'm going to quite squeeze out level 5 cooking here, but we'll see. I suppose I could also go murder some cows to get some beef, but I don't have auto looting yet, so if I want to automatically loot while I'm tabbed in another game, I probably need to be fishing instead. Right. So we can't cook anymore. Let's take a look at combat areas, farmlands, cow. Probably fuck a cow up. I might even be able to AFK cows now because I have enough defense that I don't think that they have an 8% chance to hit. And I do have health regen. It's not like amazing. Gotta be a little bit careful with acquiring a bunch of leather that I can't use, though. Up to 6 raw beef. It's pretty good, though, if it drops 6 at a time. See if I get some lucky drops here. Chance to hit's already 88% with these guys. So strength might actually make more sense. I can kill them faster. My max hit's nowhere near their max health right now. I'll let 13 attack trigger here first. I decide if I want to do crafting early. It's probably not a great idea since I don't have a ton of access to crafting materials. But I've got all these gems, and I'd love to squeeze their potential crafting XP out of them before I sell them for money, right? A hard decision. I do think I need to pick up farming soon. If I assume farming's going to cost 50k, then that means that crafting's probably going to be 100k if I jump straight over to it. And I guess I can target farm for crafting supplies by like fighting cows, for instance. Got 13. I'll go ahead and switch to strength here. So passive cooking, I still have to be actively cooking something to passive cook on the other, on like the furnace and the pot, right? I can't be passively cooking while I'm fighting. There's still kind of a one activity at a time restriction here. I heard that Melvor Idol 2 got announced. Is that just like enhanced Melvor Idol, or is it actually like a different game? Having this wide of a hit range is pretty brutal. I guess they effectively have 8 hit points, and I hit between 1 and 5. Like, the math works out almost the same there, but pretty similar to the way RuneScape works. I think I'm out-regioning their damage, so I think I might be able to AFK the cows, and I don't think I'm going to have to worry about the loot area maxing out. I think, unfortunately, like drops don't share a stack, sadly, except for bones. I'd love to try to get this Amulet of Looting. It seems like that's a really huge upgrade to the inattentiveness of combat, but it also seems like it's pretty hard to track down. I'll get one more strength level. Well, no, strength is really slow right now. I will go see how much cooking XP this is worth. If I can get into my herrings, that would be absolutely outstanding. These guys are better XP than the shrimps, so that's good. This game is great. It's really, really well done. I'm very impressed with it. Failing to cook just destroys the item. It doesn't give you like burnt meat, I assume. There's some interesting math around like maximizing your cook chance. Sardines. Don't think I have any sardines. I maybe sell them. Yeah. Probably have to survive longer. I do have 154 raw chicken though. Can't see what recipes are available until I actually get a furnace. Maybe I need to go look for one really quick. General upgrades. Automatically equip food. That's skill upgrades. Basic furnace. Oh, but I need bronze bars and logs. Okay, having those talk to each other is a really interesting idea. It's kind of mean, to be honest. It's a little bit mean. Okay. All right, so what do I do here? I think I need to get cooking up until I can cook all my herrings, because this is one of my favorite things about RuneScape, this idea of breakpoint grinding, that like I'm sitting on 21,000 herrings. So if I can just get a high enough cooking level to be able to cook my herrings, then it's like, it's cooking XP City, right? Can I see the level up table for fishing? Like, I don't remember what level I unlocked herrings at. I assume there's somewhere I can see that. Milestones. Okay, so it's probably like level 10. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to AFK cows and hopefully come back without the loot tracker totally maxed out. Maybe get a couple strength levels, and we'll see if that's enough beef to just squeeze out cooking level 10. That's kind of my interim goal. Whoops, I forgot to hit start recording. Back to Melvor, I did in fact cap on loot for the cows, so there's probably a bunch of beef that I missed out on there, sadly. But let's go ahead and cook what I have. See if that's enough to get me to this big grinding breakpoint that I can cook herring, because then I can just let this sit on herring forever, and that would be fantastic. I did get a bunch of strength levels, so that's cool. We're strength 28. I'll have to see what that means for my max hit here soon. It's crazy it doesn't let you see what's on the level up tree. Oh, I can see it from here. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize I could already make chicken. Is that in this list? Does chicken require like a furnace? Is that the problem? It seemed like that was pretty expensive, yeah, since I don't have access to logs or bronze bars right now. And it requires fire making and smithing, so you have to have unlocked those skills. Brutal. I think I got to do farming next. I need to decide how I'm getting money though, because I don't want to sell all of these gems because they're potentially really good crafting XP, especially early crafting XP. I can probably sell cooked herrings. How much are these selling for? 5, they heal for 500. That's probably better to use for healing for fighting dudes. I'm hoping that getting to level 10 cooking is enough here to make the herrings, and that would be a beautiful thing to leave the game on AFK, because it would just be able to run the entire time. Potentially get a lot of cooking levels. So when you do offline production, I got like 20,000 herrings, but only got like a few fishing levels. Is the offline production like the same item production rate, but a substantially slower XP rate or something like that? Burn rate's looking pretty good. In a future update, we'll just see where your bonuses come from. The future is now, old man. Beef Mastery level 14. Mastery is such a fucking cool idea. Like, I hope in my video essay about RuneScape, I said that, like, I hope somebody makes a RuneScape clone, because people don't or at least at the time, people weren't really recognizing that it's a distinct genre from just a typical MMO like Final Fantasy XIV or World of Warcraft. This mastery idea is so good, though. The idea of like letting you level up each individual item in the level up table for every skill in the game is fucking great, and it's genius. Every game should do it, I think. RuneScape is a triumph of a lot of things, but I think one of the things that's really special about it is that it doesn't feel like a lot of the content in it has been deprecated. Like if the game has all of these cooking recipes, there's some of them that are deprecated. Like you probably would never make pies in old school RuneScape. Most pies are just too much work to bother with for the XP rate that you get. But on average, like a good chunk of this list, especially compared to like a typical MMO, actually matters to somebody. If somebody is making, pineapple pizzas or whatever, cooking swordfish, at least for part of their career. Whereas a typical MMO, it's like, okay, what are like the 2 most recent recipes in the most recent expansion? That's literally all that matters. Do we get level 10? There we go. Beautiful. Look at that. Herrings. You have 21,000 herrings. Let's fucking go. I am going to be 99 mastery in herrings. It's the burn chance isn't that much worse. It's quite a bit better XP though than the beef. That's the fucking dream. Like, okay, I need to squeeze out this little break point, and if I can get this break point, then we're good to go for like hours of cooking. That's what RuneScape's all about. Let me go ahead and just sell this. I can see why you might not want to have the perfect items because of the extra space they take up. And then the cooked herring heals for 500. And it sells for 10 each. So I think using it as actual food for combat is a better idea than getting money from it. So to that end, I think that we give the Black Knight another try and see if we can get a lucky drop here. Let me equip this beef. Excuse me. Yeah, but once I get to 20 crafting, I probably want to do crafting after farming. That's only because I have all of this stuff from fishing. I guess I really don't have other sources of gems. It would be nice to get farming sooner. Looks like I did just drop to 0 kbps and OBS. It's hanging. I am having some Comcast issues. I'm going to try to continue for now, but chat might not be able to follow with what I'm doing here. All right, we're going to try to fight these Black Knights for a little bit now that I have all this extra food. Let's burn through all our shrimp so I can get them out of my bank so they're not taking up space anymore. I think the limited bank space is pretty smart in this game. I think level 28 strength. If I switch to stab, I get a small accuracy increase. I think I need to get the accuracy increase because like the number of failures to hit is pretty bad. Try to weave these in. That's actually kind of similar to RuneScape healing. 39% hit rate is awful. Ugh, another one with no drops. Any of this would be good. I think even the Black Dagger is probably better than my Steel Scimitar. Need to get something that gives me a really big accuracy increase. Even like 5% I think would be a pretty big deal. We get pretty good accuracy XP. A Black Battle Axe. Worse attack interval. Pretty big melee strength bonus change though. To weapon. I think I need to have attack levels to qualify for grades here. So now I hit up to 795 when I do hit, but I'm quite a bit slower. It would be nice if there was a DPS indicator here. I think I'm out of the woods on this Comcast thing, at least for now. Just crossed. Should be fine on source again. I don't see the bitrate trouble anymore in OBS. That might require refreshing to make it not do that. I want to burn through all these shrimps before I tab back out of Melvor Idle. That saves me bank space. I like the idea that your bank space is so limited, and so you're really incentivized to like be frugal with it and try to not have spaces reserved unnecessarily for things that you can't actively use. I have a lot of things that I can't actively use. I could probably dump all these runes, although they sell for like nothing. Hard call. This guy sucks, man. Maybe I was just getting really lucky with the Steel Knight earlier, but he seems to drop nothing but bones pretty frequently. Most common to least common. Any kind of plate body would be amazing. I might consider going back to the Steel Knight just because I think I can probably get a steel plate body and steel plate legs off him really fast. I have nothing in those slots right now, which is not great. I do like that there's little ways you can try to like optimize your play here, like trying to skill cap when you eat. Okay, black two-handed sword. Gets rid of my shield, but it's better damage because it's two-handed. Let's give it a try. Doesn't that significantly increase his chance to hit against me, but it does increase my max hit by like 50 to 100. I don't remember where it was in the 700 range before. Chance to hit is pretty bad still. I get a whole bunch of attack XP when I actually hit him here. I love that relationship. I love the idea that like getting a higher max hit and hitting more frequently effectively increases your XP per hour. Oh my god. Stop just dropping bones, bro. Give me a black plate body. He's much more doable now. I mean, I do have to sit here and eat cooked shrimps the whole time, but The fact that cooking requires me to level smithing and fire making a little bit is kind of interesting. I feel like they made a lot more neat interactions between the skills than actually exist in old school RuneScape. Maybe that's also because I'm playing on adventure mode or whatever, where things are a little bit more interesting and you have to like unlock all the skills in order, and you start with only melee EDM. I was thinking about picking up Slayer. I guess I just have to decide if I'm going to go ahead and sell some of these rubies and unlock farming. If I do that, I should have done it before I tabbed out earlier, but I guess it's not that huge of a time mistake. Yeah, quests are the big reasons why skills are dependent on each other and methods are dependent on each other, so adding direct dependencies is kind of a clever idea. I'm surprised they didn't add quests. I guess I don't know how they would do it. They could just be as simple as, like, here's a really long bar, and you can only start filling it once you have these minimum skill levels across the board. But I guess they made them talk to each other in different ways. $25 shrimps left. Really hoping for a black plate body here. That would be beautiful. If I'm going to do farming, I need to do it like now. 100k, I'd have to sell every ruby. I don't think I can actually use the rubies for training for a decent amount of time. It's painful. Diamonds probably take even longer for me to get to. I guess maybe they're easier to get once I get to the point that I can actually cut them and do something with them. I'd rather just get farming now. Like I said, I should have gotten it before I tabbed out, but what are you gonna do? Okay. What's this guy doing? Dropping still just bones, bro. Come on. Give me something. Okay. May now use this skill. Clear dead crop. Plant a seed. I do have some compost. I don't have any compost. Never mind. Did I must have sold my seeds from earlier, huh? That's a kind of what do you call it? Herb seed? Yeah, that's pretty similar to old school RuneScape. The money now is probably better. These are locked. This is an allotment patch. This is an herb patch, but it requires level 5. I need to find something that drops seeds, and I need to do it like now, so that unlocking that wasn't a huge waste of time. Let me finish off this last Black Knight, and then I'll try to find somebody. Farmers too? Okay. This weapon might be too strong for farmers, but we'll check. We want it to be like a slower attack interval if the max hit is enough to one-shot them. I didn't sell my steel scimitar, so I could still use that. Wouldn't be terrible. Attack's climbing up there. My rule in old school RuneScape is to try to keep attack about 7 levels behind strength. Strength's important because of the max hit. Here, I think attack is better in this game than it is in RuneScape. Okay, so combat areas, farmlands. Let's see. Let's try a junior farmer to start. So he has 800 health. So I can almost one-shot him. So I think the fact that my max hit isn't like wildly higher than his max health, means I can probably stay on the two-handed black sword, and that's totally fine. His chance to hit kind of sucks, so I could tab out and AFK him after I plant some of these. Do I need to have more than one at a time here? You have to have 3 in your bank. Okay, that's like RuneScape. It does suck to get the overkill here, though. You get nothing when that occurs. We got cabbage. Can I see? I'll probably look at the milestones. I need to do potatoes first. I literally can't do anything until I have potato seeds. Does this guy drop potato seeds? He does, commonly. Okay. So I gotta wait. I gotta get some of those, the precious grinding breakpoints. Get a couple levels up so the other seeds are more useful to me. I thought I had a bunch of seeds, but maybe that was just from the tutorial, and maybe I had to sell them. Okay, Guam seeds. Probably don't want to fuck with herb lore for a while, although maybe, I don't know, maybe getting attack potions this early is pretty good, given how combat works in this and how dependent everything else is on combat. It's really interesting. I think you could make a good argument for most of these. It sounds like Township is a... there's potato seeds, lovely. Township is a trap for an early account, right? Y'all were saying. 120 minutes? Holy shit. Okay, well, I guess I really need compost then. Is the only way to get compost by buying it? Pretty expensive. Next upgrade is 200k GP. Could keep selling. I could sell the rubies. Doesn't get me there though. Here I can't do compost after already placing it. I may as well get the second allotment patch and the third allotment patch. And I have to get to level 10 for the fourth one, but I think running all of them is a good idea. And I can get to level 5, then I can plant more stuff, so that's good. What are we doing? I don't think I can quite leave my character on this farmer. Maybe I can if I switch to the scimitar and the shield. Maybe then my region outpaces his bullshit. Oh, bank space problems. Right. Okay, well, that might be a reason to get rid of all these rubies then. I did overpay for stuff, so I could get a bank space increase. That helps a little bit. Oh, emeralds are after rubies in this? That's weird. I wonder why they would change that. Okay. Oop. How does that change the math? His chance to hit goes down. Decide if I want to buy compost. Chance to grow 50% is fucking brutal. So I can't get compost anywhere but from this shop. Maybe it drops from some enemy. %, where the crop is planted. Being able to do one thing at a time is the core loop. Yeah. You could farm at the same time. That runs in the background. Because RuneScape is about routing, right? That's what it is. It's about inattentive play, and it's about deciding the order in which you're going to do stuff. being able to make an educated decision in one of those directions, even if it's not necessarily optimal. I don't know if compost is worth it for 10% chance, but I guess at least one of them will probably harvest. It's too bad I can't rake weeds just to get a little bit of XP. At least I don't see that as an option. That's the thing you can do in RuneScape early on for farming XP. It's like terrible. It's like 1 XP per tick, but if you're willing to sit there and click it, you can at least get a couple levels from it. I don't feel confident AFKing this guy. Even with the shield, it feels like I'm not surviving here. And I think the scimitar is working better for me because I'm not overkilling him. My accuracy is pretty high. The attack interval is much faster. What do I do here? How do I want to... I think it's about time to tab out. I'm just trying to make a decision. Rune Essence makes weird gloop. Interesting. That's, does mining strictly get it to me, or do I also have to have Runecraft in this? It's just a Rune Essence mine in RuneScape. Just want to finish using my shrimp here. Clear out the bank space. Mining. Okay. I think we take crafting next. That could be a mistake because I really don't have that many gems. But I also don't want to sell the gems because they're potential crafting XP. If I sell all the gems, I can probably afford another skill unlock. Yeah. I guess I need to decide what I want my next skill to be. Kind of followed naturally up until now. Slayer makes sense so that if I'm actively training combat, I can at least also be training Slayer. That probably gets me to new interesting mobs with cool drops. Thieving is a moneymaker. And since money is what governs what other unlocks I get, I think we were talking about thieving last time. Maybe thieving is the play. If I just say, fuck it, I wince and I sell all my gems except my topazes. Maybe my sapphires. I think when I turn it off, I'm gonna leave it on cooking because I have enough herrings that I can probably burn through all of them. Pains me. Do the sapphires too. I still don't quite have enough money. I guess if I'm gonna do a black weapon, I'm probably gonna do the black two-handed sword. Sell some of the herrings I can get there now. Maybe it's not worth being impatient. It sells for 1500 GP. Probably better to just use it though. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of seeds that I can't really use here. The cabbage seeds don't sell too badly. Need 23k GP quickly. I guess I can open these chests now that I have space. Ooh. Early adamantite runite bars. I probably can't use runite bars for like an extremely long time. Or whales. Well, when you open chests like that, can you overfill your inventory? I worry that I just did. I'm not gonna be able to use these for fucking ever, so let's get some money out of it. That's fine. The runite bars actually don't sell as well as I was expecting, but I'm probably not going to be smithing them for a very long time, so I'm just going to do that and not think about it. Do the same for the adamantite. Stops opening when you run out of inventory space. Okay, I see I still have them left here. Thank you. Eat a raw whale for 4,000 HP. That's funny. Steel bars. What did I need for... Hold on, because I could theoretically get some of this shit. Okay, it's 500, so you need to have access to smithing and probably mining to get the furnace and the basic pot. Okay, that's fine. How's this coming? It's a lot of seeds. This game's really good. I really like it. Open the rest of these. Let's get some more whales. That's fucking shit compared to the original opening that I did. Nothing else that I have is really worth anywhere near as much money as the gems I started with. I could just sell the fucking topazes and just say crafting's a long ways off and we'll get it some other time. These are the hard choices you have to make as an Iron Man. We do it for thieving. I guess, so thieving is probably a little dangerous to AFK because you can take stun damage, and if you're not actively healing, you can die. Remind me, what are the penalties for dying? You don't lose XP, but you can lose some of the items that you have on you or something? I'm just gonna wince and do this. I want to see how this works really quick. Continue thieving when stunned is not enabled on this character. You're able to die while thieving offline. Food and auto eat are required to not die. Okay, so you don't want to turn that on. Hey Truck, how you doing? You lose a random valuable item. Let me just see how this goes really quick. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on it here. Where can I go to disable that again? Obviously, I'm not going to leave it. Leaving offline, that seems pretty dangerous. Undiscovered items. 1 to 101 GP. It's probably a good thing to do attentively next time. And that early stun rate is fucking brutal. I guess the fact that it just produces raw GP without filling up your bank is kind of nice, although I guess it does spawn a couple other items occasionally. I can eat mid-thieving without interrupting the action, so that's interesting. Perception 110, success rate 48.57%. Even getting one thieving level is going to be a huge hassle here. So auto eat is a thing that I can unlock, but that's like a account unlock, right? I think waiting out level 2 thieving is going to be a challenge here. Continue thieving on stun, where that is. Let me just see how expensive it is. Okay, it's pretty fucking expensive. And it reduces food efficiency, that's smart. I wanted to try to get level 2 thieving. But level 1 is very mean. I guess I can see what the deal is with mastery. +1 thieving stealth, +1% GP acquired. So thieving stealth is opposed to perception. Oh, that's cool. Mine is 0.2%, or mine is 0.2 second thieving interval for this NPC only. 75 thieving stealth for this NPC only. Wonder if that's enough to get 100% on something, because that would be a good thing to AFK if you have a 100% chance, then you have no risk. Yeah, you can only safely rely on it for enemies with max hit below that amount of damage. That tracks. Town, Golden Village. 118 thieving eventually. Farming is going to be tough. Need to add Old School RuneScape has Tithe Farm now, which is an attentive way to train farming. So I guess I already have enough mastery on this guy. I've gotten a small increase in success rate. That's kind of cool. Imagine that this skill is like it starts off really brutal and gets really good later because your XP rate is tied to your success chance. And when it's this low, like, you can't really level it at all. Typically, when people play Old School RuneScape today, the correct thing to do is just rush. There's 2 very easy quests you can do at the beginning of the game that essentially skip you straight to like 30 attack and strength, which I think is fine if you played the game a bunch of times and this is like your 3rd or 4th account. But I do enjoy the experience at a low level of like barely being able to hit and like 1 level up in strength, feeling like it's massive because your max hit goes from 1 to 2, right? Which isn't just like, it's increasing your damage in 2 ways because now it's like another number that you can roll that's not 0, right? I think they changed that in Old School. I think they made it so that if you pass the accuracy check, it's no longer possible to roll a 0. So the early game is a little bit less of a struggle now. But I actually kind of liked you rolling from 0 to whatever your max hit is, because it made those early levels feel like crazy impactful. Okay, I got to level 2. It barely increased the success rate. Although it does seem like I'm getting XP faster now. Maybe I just got lucky and didn't get stunned several times in a row. Right, stun is brutal because stun lasts almost as long as the bar to attempt thieving lasts. So not getting stunned is like huge for your XP rate. And in fact, even just getting 1 level seems to have made a pretty big difference here. That or I just got a really lucky string of successful steals, which could be the case also. Have I seen any of his drops? It's only rare and unique drops. That's cool. It is pretty good GP. My next skill unlock is 250k. That's actually not so bad. I thought it was going to be 400k. If I were to sit and watch this attentively, it's somewhat reasonable compared to my other methods, and it's not forcing me to sell some other resource that I'd rather have elsewhere. Okay, I think it's time to move on. It's very easy for me to sit and just stare at Melvor idle for like an hour. I gotta go play something else here. Let's get back on this herring train. I have 21,000 herrings. I'm probably gonna end up like cooking almost all of these herrings offline between this week and next week's episode. But let's get it started here because that's the thing that I know I can do AFK this entire time. All right, next game. Okay, back in Melvor Idle, I'm cooking level 28 and no burn chance on herring. And I have 504 perfect herrings. How many regular herrings? 1496 regular herrings. Okay, that's pretty sick. I'm pretty excited about that. Let's go back to trying to get some upgrades here, especially now that I can heal for a shitload. I can heal so well, it's tempting to try to fight the Mithril Knight. I guess I can do it like once and see if I get like fucked. I actually want to sell this. Okay, money. think I'm gonna have enough cooked herring that I can just like farm for as long as I like, so I'll go ahead and do that. That's okay. Do I have... What's my mastery on? 69 mastery, nice. So that means a really high perfect cook chance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have like basically 100% perfect cook chance almost once you max this out, huh? That's cool. Yeah, exactly. That's nice that you're basically always getting money when you do it that way. Those for the same. This guy, 35% hit chance. Oh my god, I don't hit him hard. He is substantially nastier than the equivalent of a Mithril Knight in old school RuneScape. So, to that end, do I stay on the Scimitar or do I switch to the Black Two-Hander? Kind of a hard call. I think once attack gets to 21, I switch back to Strength. I'm just hoping it would be like insane to get a lucky drop here. Do weapons still have attack requirements to equip in this? Like, do I need to have at least 20 attack to equip a mithril weapon? Or whatever it is. Do that. Have enough food. Chance to hit sucks, though. Max hit does go up a lot. I think at this point, when my chance to hit is so low, I think it's better to maximize number of swings than it is to try to maximize max hit. That's generally true in old school RuneScape. You like the reason the Scimitar is so good is because the attack interval is really good for how much damage it has. It does, okay. View item stats. Requires attack level 10. Got it. Oh, farming is ready. I forgot about that. Oh my god, a mithril sword! Fucking hell yeah, let's go! Huge. Okay. One of the best things. I guess a mithril scimitar would have been even better, but I'll take it. Harvest. Farming is now level 2. I'm gonna have to look at what the milestones are. So I have to get all the way to 5. Jesus, that's brutal. You really want to do this as soon as you can. Does apply compost to all plots just like buy the compost and then apply it immediately, or does it's just an extra cost if you have it in your inventory? Killed another one that didn't drop anything. Okay, we went up to 45% chance to hit from the mithril sword. Same attack interval. Pretty good max hit. It's a convenience store. So it's like a thing to do when you have a lot of excess money. Okay. I don't think I can justify buying the compost right now, not for a 10% increase, when I have so much else that I need lots and lots of money for. This game is really good. I really like it a lot. I feel like I shouldn't be fighting this guy without something in my chest and pants slot. I don't know how practically rare the plate body and plate legs drops are. I never got one from the Steel Knight. I guess I didn't kill him that many times. Prayer might be good to get at some point, because prayer, I assume, lets you AFK combat if you can have like protect from melee or have the thing that gives you extra damage, but then you have to worry about your prayer points draining. I guess maybe I'll just ask, how does prayer work in this? Like, is there like a way for me to leave and go to an altar to recover it? Or do I need to have like prayer potions to maintain it? You spend bones for prayer points. That's interesting. So it both trains the skill and refills your prayer. Imagine you can get a bone crusher that will cause bones to crush automatically when they get dropped. I was really lucky to get that mithril sword early. It's very exciting. Oh, that's different. So bones are prayer potions, and then using prayer in combat is what levels it. Okay. That's cool. So maybe getting prayer and slayer early is good. I am mithril shield. That's beautiful. Okay, his current chance to hit me is 47%. I should have the defense to wear this. Now his chance to hit me is 44%, so that's pretty noticeable. I have so much good healing food that I kind of just want to stay on this Mithril Knight and see if I get lucky with other drops. He does have a Mithril Simi. I would love to get plate legs or a plate body. It's like, do I stay on him and try to get a really great upgrade, or do I go back to the steel guy, theoretically kill him really fast, and at least get something in these slots, you know? I do not regret taking cooking. I think that was a good idea. Thieving, a little worried about thieving. I think I have to do it almost completely attentively. Thieving, I think, is something I have to train while I'm playing, like, another stream game. Just have it on another monitor, like a cloud save or something. Okay. Oh, we got to 21, so I can switch to slash now, which reduces my chance to hit a bit. Plus 6 hidden attack level is pretty noticeable, actually. So maybe I'd take a different tack to it. Like, the reason for doing 7 levels lower is that's like the XP doubling threshold. Like every 7 levels, you need twice as much XP. Or you need the amount of XP that you currently have again in order to get another 7 levels, right? But here, I think the benefit of being on stab style is huge to the encounter ending more quickly, so I think I'm going to kill one more of these guys, and then I'm going to try the Steel Knight just to see if I can get something in these slots, because I think it'll probably reduce how much I have to pay attention. Confirm that this Mithril Sword... I can see it somewhere. Hey! Look at that! Mithril Plate Legs, gigantic, massive upgrade. Yeah, his chance to hit's 35%. It's from nothing on the pants. Oh, no kidding. It's that rare? Wow. I mean, I've done 1 in 100 grinds many times before, but I didn't expect it would be that uncommon. So the plate body is quite a bit rarer than that, I guess. Clear dead crop. That sucks. I almost need to, like, manage this off stream, not just in the morning, just make sure I'm always planting those, because it, like, costs me nothing in resources to plant the seeds. Most of the stuff they added to RuneScape 3 is ass. Like, anything they changed from old school RuneScape is bad, but they had an idea for farming where you can unlock the ability to consume extra seeds to improve your yield from a given patch. It only works for herb seeds in that game, but I think that's kind of a cool idea. All right, so I guess getting farming early is good because it's going to take fucking ever to level it. Okay, another upgrade. Yeah, I kind of do just want the slot. The boots here are pretty common. 34% chance to hit now. Yeah, they're the most common. If people had to like figure out the drop rates from just like gathering lots of data from playing, or are you just getting that from the wiki? Prayer is tempting to do next if bones are what restore your prayer points, and if it's training when I'm doing combat anyway, especially since I'm kind of dependent on combat to get anything done. Don't know if honestly, if I AFK cooking for 24 hours, you only get 24 hours of offline production, right? I think we do fishing again, because that got me a shitload of money. If I just like close my eyes and scream and then sell everything instead of saving it for crafting XP, I can tolerate that. View equipment stats. I guess it has to be in my inventory to see what level it requires. I'm just curious if an Addy sword requires level 30 attack, or if it's only 25. Hit points 27. Alright, let's try the Steel Knight really quick, just to get something in the slot. Helmet, which unfortunately isn't worth very much. Is alchemy a spell in this game? Can I alch drops to get more money from them than selling them to the shop? One in 500 for the mithril plate body. That's fucking brutal. Jesus. I guess it'd be really great if I got it, but... Another Simi. We gotta sell these to get space here. Get rid of this now. It's definitely worse than what I was rolling before. I think this guy's getting close to the point where I can probably AFK him, because his chance to hit's only 14% now with my mithril upgrades. Yeah, I think the only way I realistically afford to get another skill here, because the next one is 250k. I'm really thinking about prayer. Normally I would have delayed prayer for as long as possible, but knowing how you train it, I think it's more interesting. I kind of want to... So what is it? Agility has to have like completely new effects in this, right? Since there's no run energy. Can someone just kind of briefly explain what agility does in this? I love agility in RuneScape. It's weird. Spellbook, rune, prayer. Unlock summoning to open this menu. Might actually be able to upgrade some of my shit here because I have these bars, but maybe that requires actually having smithing, which I don't. Now that I have decent combat levels, I might want to, and a good chunk of food, I might want to poke around in the monster list just to see if there's any monsters who have something cool like a necklace. In RuneScape, it takes forever to get your first like ring, but necklaces are relatively accessible. It's synergy with other skills. Okay, that's cool. I guess that makes sense, because like the reason you want to train agility in old school RuneScape is that just about every activity in the game has you running around, or many activities have you running around, so it can make things faster to not have to walk. You have enough run energy restoration. They let you buy obstacle courses that get passive percentage buffs to one or two other skills. Best ones have a persistent downside. That's interesting. 81% chance to hit on this guy. That's fantastic. I think this loop feels really, really good. I did upgrade. Okay. Oh, it just costs money in the bars. I don't actually need the skill level, but I don't have 50 bars, and the money probably isn't worth it for such a mild increase when I could just try to farm for a better item, so I will not do that, but that's kind of cool that that's an option. God, the amulet of looting. I expect that that's like... Is that a Slayer area? Sounds like something that would be Slayer. I know we looked this up forever ago. There's the wet forest. The spider forest is hard. It's a dungeon. Level 158. Okay, we're not doing that anytime soon. That's a pretty late game unlock, huh? Minus 3% cooking interval, plus 3% cooking skill XP gain. 5% cooking success, 6% combat damage down across the board. I feel like the cooking interval one is... When do you want that? You want that when you need to maximize the XP from each of the items that you're cooking? Like if you have a high burn rate or something? Oh, damn. That is weird. Come on, man. You said a little bit under 1% chance to get the steel plate body. Pretty reasonable to go for. I can't AFK this guy yet. I'm not strong enough. He does really love to drop his boots. I'm gonna do... I need to like set a cap on the number of additional kills I'm gonna do on this dude before I move on. Burning coals. Huh. I guess they were in a weird position with agility. They had to like completely make up their own new design space. Is summoning annoying in this game? Summoning is so fucking annoying in RuneScape 3. It's like, when I do the RS3 video essay, I'm going to talk about how much I hate it. It's a really interesting idea for his skill, but it just doesn't work. The training method is awful. Like 98% of the familiars you can summon are awful. They break the balance of the game in a lot of ways. Annoying but powerful, yeah, it sounds about right. Like all of old school RuneScape is balanced around the idea that you have exactly 28 inventory slots and that's it. And usually if you're bringing something in your inventory that's not food, it's the opportunity cost you're paying, right? It's like, I'm bringing this potion in lieu of a piece of food that would heal me, because every slot in your inventory is potential healing. But summoning gives you a familiar that can carry an extra 28 items, which just, it like breaks the whole game. Nothing, even stuff that was added long after summoning is balanced on the assumption that you're carrying 28 extra pieces of food with you. And it has so many like frustrating downstream impacts that are bad. It makes it difficult to tell if you're doing a good job at a boss fight, because like in old school RuneScape, you can kind of tell like if you use all of your food, that's probably not great. definitely balance on the assumption that you only have these 28 slots to work with. But if they have to balance for someone having anywhere between 28 and 56, it's what the fuck do you do? Okay, let's do 2 more kills, and I'm just going to start peeking at some of the other options to see their drop tables. And then I'll find something to AFK and we'll move on to the next game here. Come on, lucky sub 1% drop here. Nope, didn't get it. That's fine. Shit happens. Run away. So let's see. There's the giant dungeon. I could probably fight a hill giant now. Drops sapphires and rubies rarely and arrows that I can't use. Moss giant drops a bunch of seeds I can't use. Okay, so that's not super exciting. The bandit drops a bunch of arrows that I can't use. Amulet of range that I can't use. Leech, squam seeds, chest of Witwicks. Sweaty monster. To me, I see a drop table and I'm like, I see a drop table like this and I'm like, fuck, man, like, it's gonna fuck up my bank space. It does drop an amulet of accuracy though. The rarest drop. I guess if it's the rarest drop, I can assume it's like around 1% or worse since it's an idle game. Amulet of strength. Amulet of strength would be sick. Let's YOLO. Let's just get a couple KC on this sweaty monster. Why not? I do want to try to burn through all my beef before I swap to a different game here. 68% chance to hit's pretty good. Max hit of 619 and his health is 2800. It's not so good. Can I get spooned here? If the game would spoon me an amulet of accuracy, that would be amazing. Summoning requires a decent gold investment because you need to buy summoning tokens in the shop to level it. Yeah, that's... Summoning is such a fucking disaster in RuneScape 3. The way you train it is basically that. It's this huge gold sink. And it's just a really awkward gold sink. You have to spend money on every single point of XP you get. Alright, raw lobster. That ain't it. Let's do 2 kills on the sweaty monster. You never know. Said that playing RuneScape has given me a good intuition for numbers as large as 1 in 100 to 1 in 5,000, right? Or I guess as small. To the point where it's like, I think it's insane. If someone told you that you could every 40 seconds get a lottery ticket for free, and the lottery ticket had the usual, you know, lottery ticket chances of winning where it's like, you know, like a 1 in 300 million chance. If you could just sit there and press a button and it would give you a lottery ticket, I think that would be a complete fucking waste of time. And anyone who did it would be crazy. Even if it was free and you were just printing it every 40 seconds, I think you could do the math on it and you would be standing there for like 12 years or something stupid. But like, I've had the equivalent of that going for a 1 in 5,000 drop in RuneScape where it's like you effectively get a kill every 40 seconds and it doesn't cost you anything other than clicking once or twice. And even just going for 1 in 5,000 is like, oh, never want to do it again. All right. You didn't drop anything, bro. You dropped a bunch of bullshit that I gotta like sell now to save space. The oxalime seed is actually worth a decent amount of GP, but Cap's cooking success is 75%, but each failure gives you coal ore. That's cool, though. I like that. That's way more interesting than basically every single familiar in RuneScape 3. All of them are just like, you're more powerful now. Like, none of them are, oh, wouldn't it be neat if like this turned your burnt food into coal? That sounds like that creates a cool training method. I like that, actually. That's pretty sweet. Let's try the moist monster. He's harder than the sweaty monster, but an amulet of strength would go hard. 42% chance to hit. Not good. See if I get the lucky YOLO drop here. I need to figure out a way to, when I'm doing full screen games like this, to get my taskbar to not come up when I scroll too far at the bottom. Like sometimes I'll be doing it and it won't happen, and sometimes it does, and I don't know what governs it. Okay, a salmon. That's not what I wanted, but we'll do one more kill, and then we'll look for something else to fight for now. I'm almost out of steak, and that's probably when I'm going to swap games, but... I think prayer is next. I think it would be good to start training it, because I think if I can get prayer high enough, assuming that it still has protection prayers, like protect from melee, then theoretically I'll be able to take on enemies that I otherwise wouldn't be able to take on. Does it add a little option here in your food for you to like burn bones, or do you have to bury bones out of combat to get prayer recovery? Big money? No. You have to click into the bank and use it? Okay. Nope. That ain't it, Chief. All right. Still have some beef left to burn through, so let's see what my other options are. The sandy shores. Seagulls a waste of time. Burnt cave fish. I don't know how common that treasure chest is. Oh, an Addy sim. Mithril scimitar is probably an upgrade over a mithril sword, assuming it's the same as RuneScape. That might be worth doing. How can someone look up how rare the Addy sim is on him and how rare the steel plate body is on the zombie? I guess I can just be willing to Google stuff, but if it's like, I don't want to Google, but if it's like, you know, significantly less than 1 in 100, then I know it's not worth the stream time, so I kind of just have to deal with it, I think. A shield. These guys are getting to be too hard. Wizard set. Don't even have magic unlocked. No fucking kidding. Wow. I guess he was harder before. I did get like every other steel item, so. Is this the only thing I need to be able to do barbarian fishing? I guess there's probably also like a minimum level to catch fish. Iron boots, so great. I'm excited to see what the steel plate body does in my chance to hit. Or their chance to hit, I should say. Iron plate body, that's better than nothing. So he currently has a 30% chance. 25%, yeah. The plate body is like, I think it's more valuable than all the other armor pieces combined. If it's like RuneScape. Even though I'm about to run out of beef, I'm going to stay here until I get it, because that'll be great for next time. Obviously, a mithril plate body would be better, but... Every time you gain XP in a skill, you have a chance to gain a mark associated with a summon linked to that particular skill. Yeah, that's summoning charms. And you have to find or craft summoning tablets associated with the summon. Then you have to continue farming. There it is. Look at that. No problem. Easy peasy. Continue farming the associated skill with the tablets equipped for a chance to find more marks. 61 marks of a summon to max it. There's 20 summons per DLC. At least they give you a reward for summoning the same one over and over. That's cool. All right. Feeling pretty good about my current setup. This looks great to me. A necklace would be cool. A cape would be cool. I don't think I've encountered anything that has a cape. Chicken coop is a dungeon? What's the dungeon? There's like 6 chickens I have to kill. Is that the idea? It says there's an egg chest at the end, which is pretty funny. Okay, the individual enemies don't drop anything. Chance to hit 2%. You love to see it. That's low enough that I could probably AFK this dungeon if the egg chest has anything good in it. Then we get a chicken boss, the mama chicken. 24% chance to hit. So I guess we can do the math on that, right? That means he has... If he hit me for the max hit every time, which he doesn't, on average he would hit me for 124. But realistically, he can hit me from anywhere from 1 to 520, so... Hits me for 260 when he hits, 24% of the time. So on each tick, he tends to hit me for 62, or she hits me. I think that's too high, even with my natural regen. My natural regen goes up as my hit points value goes up, right? It's not safe enough to fully AFK, sadly. He's a shitload of health, though. Maybe with some defense upgrades. I could get the mithril boots and the plate body at some point. I guess we need to see what's actually in the chest, if it's even worth it or not. I love how much value you get out of just like a single session of cooking. You really just do a lot of content. Okay, so it just gives me the chest, it looks like. Egg chest. Is it literally just worth 50 coin? Wait. View chest contents. Here we go. Ooh, 1,000 feathers or 40 raw chicken. That's kind of good. Oh, up to. Not so great compared to just farming chickens, but maybe if you can like annihilate it, it's pretty good. All right. The other dungeons, I guess there's the Undead Graveyard, which is probably too dangerous. The chicken coop is probably the only one I can handle. And the strongholds are way too hard. Got it. So, if we're tabbing out now that I got the things I wanted, need money. I've done plenty of cooking, but the perfect fish is worth money. And a good amount of money. And I'd love to max this out so I can just have basically nothing but perfect herring. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and continue active cooking that. That's fine. Off to idle loops. Just quickly wrapping up Melvor idle for the day. Doing great here. We're at cooking 30. Not quite at 100% mastery on this yet. As far as what I let the game run, I think I'm going to let it fish rather than cook. Because I think fishing can get me more money effectively. But I'm going to buy, this is expensive, but I'm going to buy more bank space. So I don't have to worry about running out of space when I start fishing. And I guess this time, so herring is maxed, which is cool. Because you always catch a minimum quantity of 2 fish. But junk is where I get my money from. So I think I actually want to fish for blowfish instead. Or, well, you know, I actually don't know. Can't Barbarian fish yet. At least I don't see the option for it here. Oh, it's here. It's level 20. Maybe I'll be able to do it next time since I have the gloves. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do blowfish, and hopefully the junk will help pay for stuff when we play this next time. Cool. Fishing 14. Okay, back in Melvor Idle. After a long break, we get a day of AFK, which again produced a whole lot of resources. I'm going to sell all of this for money. I did cap out my bank, so I almost certainly need to buy more bank space. And I have to decide what I want to let this run AFK on while I'm away. 15% GP from combat if equipped. Something special might drop while training skills. That is awesome. I don't have a ring. I don't know how frequently that drops, but that's a really cool thing to get. And then I'm just not going to think about this. I'm just going to sell all of it because I need the money for reasons. Yeah, that's fantastic. This is much better AFK money making than I think I can probably get from just about anything else. Okay, so let's get bank spaces. I really just don't want to have to think about that. Oh yeah, I can check on my farming setup. Dead crop, harvest potatoes, farming level 3, and that's it. Brutal. Farming is going to be hard for me to do with this stream format, I think. I think it really is expecting you to keep an eye on it over the course of, like, many, many days. So let's go ahead and get... Let's do... It's going to be a little... Well, how much do I need to unlock the next skill? I was thinking about getting prayer. 250k? All right, so I can afford to do this, and that'll leave me with 250k. I'm about to tab out of this so that I can go finish up 1,000 times resist. So I just want to have something running while I'm away here. I guess it could still be fishing. I assume that I've maxed out mastery on the blowfish, which I actually don't want to be maxed on mastery because I want to get junk, because junk is how I get money. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. It's very similar to old school in that regard. But it has this really big, like, there's a handful of huge breakpoints here that if I can get out of these potato seed allotments, start planting herbs, and then eventually start planting seeds at 15, it's going to be amazing. I love breakpoint grinding. It's my favorite thing in video games, I think. So I can technically do Barbarian fishing. I guess Barbarian fishing has very low junk, which makes sense. But it also gets me strength XP, which is just like old school RuneScape, and that would be fantastic because that increases my max hit. And I would love to get more money, but I'm probably, if I'm going to be getting money, it's likely going to be while I'm, like, have the game literally offline. And here I'm just going to be tabbed out of the game for a couple hours, so I want to do something that's actually getting me productive XP in the meantime. The money is from special fishing results? Oh, I see. So junk specifically is like boots, pirate hats, any of this stuff that's like gray. Rubber duckies. Gotcha. Okay. But the special items are like gems and that sort of a thing. That makes more sense. Thanks for clarifying that. We'll let this run, though, because that'll be a bunch of strength XP, I think, and then I'll have enough money to try out prayer when we come back to it. All right, we're back in Melvor Idle. I've been Barbarian fishing for a while. What strength level did I get from all of that? I think I have 36 strength now. That's pretty solid. So I like the idea of doing this when I'm actively tabbing in and out of the game. I guess it is still getting me some special loot, but not as good as Blowfish is 5%. Is that because Mastery gives you a bonus for special? 3% chance to receive special items. Okay. So it might be eventually... That's, well, hold on. That's at level 50, so that's the highest I can get for special items from Barbarian fishing, huh? Okay. That's fine. 1,700 leaping trout. To see what level I have to be in order to cook those. But I can play attentively for a second, so let's go ahead and unlock prayer. You may now use this skill. Do I immediately have prayers that I can act? Okay, here we go. View prayer. Thick skin is the only one. But I have to have the prayer turned on to be able to earn prayer XP, right? Is the idea. So we can... The Mithril Knight is somewhat useful to go for. My strength's quite a bit higher now. Let's see how nasty he is. You don't have enough prayer points. So this is my cheapest prayer. Do I have to, like, immediately restore prayer with bones? Okay, so you don't start at... Can I bury all of them and just have all of the prayer points? That's sufficiently different from RuneScape. Okay. So burying them just acts as a resource that I can then spend. Bury item. 604 prayer points. Okay. Let me turn that on. And now I'm getting prayer XP. And I get one at level 4, level 7, level 10, and so on. That's cool. Did a good job of creating the feeling of RuneScape prayer. Chance it hits 50%. Max hits 720. There are more interesting enemies that I could fight if I'm going to be doing it attentively here. I think we said, let's see, what level is my... Only 25 attack. I think... Can I see my equipment here? I think I have to have that unequipped to be able to review the level requirements for it. What level attack do you need to equip... Oh, hey, upgrade. Nice. What level attack do you need to be able to equip an Addy Scimitar? Is it 30 or something? Okay, let's go ahead and sell that. Fantastic. Sell these guys. Do crafting later. Just not going to stress about it for now. Attack 26. Beautiful. So... Okay, it tells me how much prayer it costs to have it out. I see. Hit points 28. So I could go kill the pirate guy that has a chance to drop an Addy Sim. Is there any way in-game to know... use my words here. To know the percentage drop rates of items, is there like an upgrade that tells you that? I'm worried that that's just wiki bait. But I guess if I'm playing RuneScape, you can't find it out in game either. So. Nice to get these boots upgrade. His chance to hit's gotten pretty low, which is very nice to see. 80% GP from combat. Something special might drop while training skills. It's too bad. I wonder if that's something they'll do for Melvor 2. I think you could do a thing where you get different upgrades where it's like one of them just tells you whether it's rare, common, or uncommon. I mean, I guess it tells you in order of most common to least common. And then something that tells you the specific drop rate. Okay, we already had a mithril helm. This guy is view item stats. Requires defense level 20. So Addy might require defense level 30, which I guess I could get if I left this AFK on that for a bit. I haven't unlocked Slayer yet. Next unlock is 400k. That's manageable. 3 dead crops. Jeez, man. I still don't think I can afford to pay for the compost. Brutal. I'll get to do that one more time at least. The chicken coop was pretty accessible. The egg chest is kind of boring though. Standard chest has a bunch of seeds, Addy gear, elite amulet of defense. Can't do Slayer yet because I haven't unlocked it. Wizard Tower would be for if I unlock magic, and it does sound like magic has some utility in it. It's not just a combat style. That's the same as old school. Terranin was talking about getting basically high-level alchemy to be able to alch your junk from fishing and turn it into something more profitable, which is kind of cool. I guess if I'm going to train thieving, I should probably do it attentively, but I wanted to come give prayer a try. I guess prayer is leveling like crazy slowly right now, but it probably also has breakpoints where maybe there's later prayers that cost more to keep up and so give you more XP per tick that they're up. It's an interesting way to make it so that you still need to bury bones to get XP. Because I guess that was an interesting design problem they got into. In old school RuneScape, you just literally bury the bones from your inventory. It's not very interactive. It doesn't really interact with the other skills. You can find like an altar that will let you get more XP per bone. But here to be like, okay, you're going to use the bones to get prayer points, and then you'll slowly gain prayer XP from having it turned on in combat, I think is a neat idea. Sure, but it's also increasing the amount you consume per second, so you're still only getting as much XP as you have bones. And I assume there are still higher level bones like big bones and dragon bones that count for more prayer points per berry, I suppose. I think I looked through most of these and wasn't super pumped about many of them. Could fight the confused pirate because he drops an Addy sim and I assume a mithril sim is an improvement. I could give him a try. I haven't fought him before. Why not? Chance to hit's pretty good, but his max hit's a little bit lower and he swings much more slowly. This could be like a 1% drop rate, so I probably don't want to just sit here and babysit it, but... Prayer level 2. Let's fucking go. Is the main benefit of prayer levels that you get access to new prayers? In old school, well, in RuneScape, you also get higher max prayer points, but it seems like prayer points are just a thing that can go arbitrarily high, depending on how many bones you've buried, right? This game rules. I really like Melvor Idol. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about it once this Idol extravaganza ends. I'm probably gonna want to keep playing it, but I also would like to record it because I think it's an interesting enough game and I have enough to say while I'm playing it. I can try to talk through my decisions. I'm really glad I went with this method that locks the skills because like it's still pretty accessible, and I know that eventually the unlock cost is gonna get astronomical, but I think my capability to generate money is going up over time, too. It's mostly just helping with unlocking prayers. Okay. Get a prayer all the way at 118. I wonder what that is. I'd love to find a enemy that's completely AFKable, but that has more interesting drops than just like potatoes. But I can't leave it AFK for too long because the loot to collect will completely fill. But obviously I need to get bones now. That's pretty important. I'll do like a couple more kills on this guy, and then I think I'll go do thieving for a bit, and then we'll swap games. Okay, steel simi, not so good. One more kill. I guess a reason to hold on to duplicates of items is that if you die, you can lose your stuff, right? It's neat needing to get the barbarian gloves to be able to do barbarian fishing. I feel like barbarian fishing is really great, and I should keep doing it for as long as I can get away with it. It's also very good in RuneScape, and I'll be able to unlock another one at 35, so that's cool. Mastery is honestly just like the coolest idea, and I really hope if anyone makes a RuneScape inspired game now that people are starting to realize that it's a distinct genre from other MMOs, that they play Melvor Idol and that they're inspired by that idea. Because it's not super complicated. It basically is just an XP pool for every kind of unique item you can interact with. I'm surprised they don't have mastery for like enemies that you can fight, like pirate mastery or whatever. It's not super necessary, but okay, let's grab this loot, run away. I wish I could get the taskbar to stay permanently hidden. I guess because this game isn't true full screen is the problem. Let's go back to pickpocketing this man. Try to get level 4 here. Mastery for thieving is thieving stealth, GP acquired. Level 50 is thieving interval down. I feel like I don't actually want to go to higher level thieving targets just because my XP rate is so dependent on me being more successful. Because not only when I fail, I don't get XP and I'm stunned, which means there's an entire tick that I'm not thieving. And I'm not thieving, so it's like a Shin Megami Tensei punishment. That's the same way it works in RuneScape, but I never thought about how brutal it is to fail to successfully pickpocket in terms of what it does to your XP rate. It's interesting because it's kind of attentive, but I suppose if you can get to a point where you're 100% success rate on a character, that's pretty good because you can just leave it up. It might even be good enough to like leave it up for the 24 hours of AFK. One of the models I was considering for idle games was to like open the stream with messing around with it for a little bit and then turning it off. But that's not really viable for many idle games that require constant attentive play. But here I think the offline production is powerful enough that maybe I could do something like that in the future, like go live 5 minutes early and just do 5 minutes of Melvor idle. I don't know. I'll figure something out. If I'm recording it off stream, that's cool too. But I do like getting feedback from people in chat as to what is an absolutely terrible decision. I'm glad I didn't take Township. Miscellanea is good in the Township is called Miscellanea in RuneScape, but it's also very expensive and you probably don't have enough money to spend on it early game. It's interesting they turned it into a skill because it's not a skill, it's just a quest reward that provides some like passive buffs. So conceptualizing it as a skill is kind of a cool idea. Not something I would have thought of. I've got these tokens. So is it recommended to just use fishing mastery tokens? I guess they sell for a decent amount. It's hard for me to 0.1% of the maximum mastery pool XP for the respective skill. So that gives me pool XP, which I can spend on an individual like node for that skill. Okay. There's no reason to like save them. 166,500 mastery pool XP gained. So if I wanted to spend that on Leaping Trout, I guess Leaping Trout's probably a mistake because I'm going to tab out with it and we'll likely hit 99 while AFK. So we got to 73 really fast. Spend mastery pool XP. Let's see. I think here I just got to get as much success rate as possible on the man. Oh, there's passive buffs from having a high mastery pool. Is that view checkpoints? Okay. Stealth while thieving. Does stealth like directly counter perception? That's maybe better to build up than to spend. All right, well, maybe I made a mistake there, but that's okay. Learning. So what I can do is I can get to 95% and then just only spend the top 5% of XP. Does it not just like continue to accrue at that point? I should get a new rod. I only have an iron fishing rod. I think I can. Steel fishing rod requires fishing level 10. Requires fishing level 20. Mithril. Okay. Should be able to afford that soon, though. Yeah, so like if an enemy has 110 perception, does that mean I need to have 110 stealth to be able to have 100% success chance? Is that how that works? Irrespective of like mastery bonuses to just give me a raw success increase? Once you hit 100%, it doesn't keep going up. There's a UI indicator and warning if you would spend below a checkpoint. Okay, that's an interesting mechanic. All of this sounds great. Does mastery pool XP... I think I how to phrase this question in a way that's not stupid. Does this accrue... Does the rate at which it's... Does the rate at which it accrues, is it tied to the rate at which I'm actually gaining XP in the skill? So do I get more mastery XP if I'm getting more XP per steal, or is it flat like, you know, AP in Final Fantasy? This guy up to 61%. I'm still tempted to spend it just to get this guy as close to 100% as we can as soon as possible. 81. Because then I can just leave it up. It scales, okay. So I can get up to these checkpoints much faster with higher XP rates later on. Yeah, it's right here, right? The 409. And this gives 81 mastery XP per node. Double items, 5% chance. Still have undiscovered items, so that must be like pretty rare. I guess it makes sense because you're stealing from them so many times. That requires 1.7 million to get to the 30 stealth and 3% skilling XP. And I'm getting like 81 per successful steal, so maybe it's better to just spend them now. Probably want to save it for other skills like fishing, but here if I can get... This increases my skill rate much sooner. Okay. That's cool. Thieving is fun. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to come back and look at this in a second. Do I go back to fishing, or do I try to burn my prayer bones AFK? I think the number of enemies that I can safely kill, I can probably kill a chicken. It'll give me a bunch of bones. Problem with killing farmers is I get these seeds, but I can't plant most of them for a while. I could just like fight them and get the seeds and then plant them because it takes such a long time to benefit from planting them. Gobos have a bunch of shit that I don't want. Could do cows to start accruing leather and beef because that's cooking XP and crafting XP. I don't know what skill I'm unlocking next. I feel like there's a lot of interesting choices here. Crafting lets you make jewelry, right? To the right of the mastery cup, there's a mastery cup on a coin. So why does this say 96 and this says 24? What's the difference between these two? I think we keep fishing to try to get the next barbarian fishing threshold because that gets me a bunch of strength levels. Oh, so this is mastery XP in pickpocketing man, and this is mastery pool XP. Okay, I get it. Thank you. And then the benefits of mastery are every level gives 1 thieving stealth and 1% GP acquired. And if we can get to 50, it's a reduced thieving interval. Plus 75 thieving stealth for this NPC only. I think this is interesting because like one of the things I really like about RuneScape is the way that throughout your career, different skilling methods can remain relevant even if they're super old. Like you might want to chop, I don't know, oak logs for a really long time, even though they're worse XP than their upgrades. I feel like generally in MMO design, it's like whenever you get the new tier of the thing, you always go to that thing, period. And while that's kind of true, it's not necessarily true. Like iron rocks respawn extremely fast compared to every other kind of rock in old school. So sometimes you might just power mine iron to get mining XP as quickly as possible. Similarly, in this game, I feel like I want to max out the man just so that I can have AFK thieving XP, even if it's not great, right? And some AFK money. Because right now, this is just not a safe skill to AFK, but it could be in the future. And I think that that's awesome. Already up to 61% here, which isn't bad. But I think it's time to swap. If I don't swap, I never will. So let's go back to the leaping trout, start fishing. Does barbarian fishing ignore my rod bonus? I guess it doesn't say that it does. You're like fishing barehanded is the idea in RuneScape, so I guess it would make sense if you did. Okay, we'll let that go. Back on Melvor here. Let me see. Strength is at 37, so we got 1 strength level all tabbed out. That's 75 mastery on leaping trout, so that's slowing down quite a bit. I'm still not 35 fishing. Oh, but I'm very close. Okay, let me just sit that out then, because then we can do this guy when we tab. Those are 20 fishing XP, 10 strength XP. Got all this mastery pool. I think we just sit on it though. Receive no junk ever without having to level it up. Chance to double items. Receive a random special item when catching a special item. God, so close. One more tick. Wait, am I reading it wrong? Doesn't this say I only need 1 skill XP to get a level up here? I feel like I keep getting them and then not getting the level. Something glitched? Hold on, I'm trying to see if there's a bigger... So I could stop fishing and click off of it if that's the issue. Non-combat skill level limit reached. Level up your combat level to continue earning skill XP. Whoa. Did I like just hit that? That's a feature of the adventure mode I'm playing on, isn't it? Okay, that's interesting. Combat level is derived from attack, strength, defense, hit points, range, magic, and prayer. And maybe summoning? Alright, well, let's definitely start fighting some guys to deal with that. I like that. So I wonder how do I determine, let's see, 34, 64, 70, 73. I see, and I'm combat level 34. Trying to figure out how it's derived and where I can see the skill cap. Hopefully I didn't get too fucked over there by leaving fishing up and having the XP just not accruing. I guess I was still getting mastery XP, but that means if I'm an AFK Melvor, I think I have to AFK on something combat related just to make sure I'm still getting XP. Prayer makes sense to do. It includes skill progress. I guess it just shows me everything that could conceivably level up in this tab. It doesn't tell me how combat level is calculated. Wonder if I still get mastery XP here. Potatoes. Oh my god. If it fails, I think I don't. I gotta make an educated decision here. If I do chickens, it's potentially a lot of bone drops. But the loot's gonna fill up because I don't have the amulet of looting and probably won't get it for a really long time because it seems really hard to get. I have plenty of food. I could try just fighting something really hard. The Spider Forest, though, is a dungeon with the highest combat monster is 158. Amulet of looting is somewhat reliable, but everything else that drops is a dehyde body, which is for range, which I'm not leveling. So maybe I have to unlock my other combat skills just to be able to get higher combat levels faster. The way the combat level formula works in RuneScape is that it's whatever your highest between attack, range, and magic is, and then also defense, hit points, and prayer always matter regardless of which one's your highest. So I assume it's similar, and it doesn't, like, if my attacks and strength are, you know, an average of 30 or whatever, then range would have to be better than 30 and magic would have to be better than 30 for the combat level to go up. I kind of want to unlock magic just because it sounds like it has some cool utility spells down the line. Maybe I need to be focusing on that first just to make sure that I have enough combat XP to continue to level up the non-combat skills. I'm guessing this guy's Addy's Sim is like a crazy rare drop. And then I'm insane for going for it. Bobby's Pockets. Huh, created by a Patreon person? Is this literally just a sell item for money? I guess it looks like it, but... it's just vendor trash. 4,000 is pretty good. Could open all these treasure chests. God damn. We sell the whales. They heal for a lot, but... keep selling junk because I just don't have bank space for it, and I don't want to have to think about it. Manta rays also heal for a lot, but sell for a lot, so we sell those. Probably sell all of these for now, just because it's a lot of money. I want to try to unlock magic, I think. Sharks. Heal for a lot, but need the money more. Dragonite. Perfect herrings. Which I guess I can still cook into perfect cooked herrings and then sell. Hey, Serp, how you doing? This is like automatically sorted, right? Can someone explain what the Melvor DLC like adds? I don't know that I understand. Like, is it just more? Is it more skills? Is it more areas and stuff to do? Is it generally stuff that gets appended onto the end game, or does it affect the early and mid game as well? Level 85 plus. Okay. Runite is ridiculously high in RuneScape as well, so I can probably just dump that. It does seem like there are occasionally some upgrades that just require you to own the bars and not necessarily have the requisite skill level, so that's why I was thinking about maybe holding on to them. Cax. Slayer might be good, especially if Slayer contributes to combat level in this. Someone Google for me what the combat level calculation is in this game, like what stats it cares about. Because that's going to be pretty important to the unlock order I do in this game, I think. Okay, another steel scimitar. That seems pretty common. The mithril simi might be an upgrade to the mithril sword if it's like RuneScape, where scimitars are just strictly better, but I'll do one more kill here, and then I think I have to find something to AFK with this guy. I think we stay on attack, because that gets me more weapons, and I can train strength at Barbarian fishing. Hey, thank you, Trock. It's the same as OSRS, so it's your highest between attack, strength, range, or magic, and then defense, hit points, and prayer always matter. Let's try cows. Okay, thank you. Max hit still doesn't equal its health. Is this the shortest attack interval for regular weapons? Like 2.4 seconds? That sounds like... Yeah, because RuneScape, it's 4 ticks for like a regular weapon. I imagine that there are crazy weapons you can get later on that are much faster, but like a dagger is not going to have a faster attack interval than this, I assume. I just want as many attack intervals to pass as possible for training prayer. I'll be getting twice as much prayer XP, but I still have to bury the bones. I'm glad I picked up prayer when I did, because I'm going to need it for combat levels, I think. That makes it somewhat tempting to transition into leveling defense, since that will always advance my combat level. I guess an advantage of unlocking magic or range is that I can train them without running into the non-combat XP cap. I think I'm just going to sit here and watch this attentively until I get to 30. Well, there's 35 combat. Okay, the long search is over. That didn't take very long. So in theory, if I go back to Leaping Trout really quick and I fish, then I ding 35, and I can do Leaping Salmon, which are more strength XP. So this is nice, because I AFK this, and it's still getting me combat XP, which is increasing my combat level. And I can just let that run. Max of attack plus strength, 1.5 times magic, 1.5 times ranged. Yeah, so I guess the benefit of range and magic is you don't have to level 2 skills to get one of them to count as your highest. I almost certainly can just AFK cows, right? I mean, I would hope I can AFK cows at this point. Their accuracy, their chance to hit is 4%, and they hit me for 187. When they hit me between 1 and 187. So on average, they hit me for 94, 4% of the time. So on every tick, on average, they hit me for 4 damage. And I'm regioning... Can I see my region somewhere? I don't know that I can. I assume it's based on how much... Okay, I'm getting 28. Yeah, I can AFK cows. Cool. I'm going to AFK this guy. Hopefully I get a bunch of attack levels. Maybe I consider coming back and attentively fighting the pirate for a little bit longer to see if I can get the Addy Sim. Because that would be pretty good for XP rate. Bury these bones. I'm going to be out of bones by the time I come back to the game, but that's completely fine. That's actually the objective. We want to get as much prayer XP as possible. And the next prayer I unlock is level 7, which is pretty doable. Okay, that's Melvor for now. All right, back in Melvor, and I have not capped on loot, so we weren't away for too long there. I'm at combat 36, so that's increasing my non-combat skill cap. I want to see... Might have to Google... Signet ring halves missed. Oh my god, is that the... That's an RS3 thing. The Hazelmere signet ring. What the fuck is Abyssal XP? I want to see how adventure mode works. Like, what my non-combat skill cap is. I feel like that has to be displayed somewhere, right? Completion log. Floor. Oh, they have true completion. Okay, yeah, that's very... RS3. Bury all these bones. Prayer got up to level 6 while I was away. I still have 85 prayer points. Now I can get an Addy Sim, which would be fucking great. This guy, he can drop an Addy Sim and an Adamant Sword, but he also drops a bunch of other Adamant gear. My defense is only 25 right now. I hate leveling defense. It feels bad. But I feel like I have to get skill levels here and to qualify to equip better gear. I guess the argument is that this guy only drops scimitars. But I don't know if that means that it's more common. I might just need to, like, bite the bullet and just deal with the fact that I'm going to have to check the wiki for this game. Because I don't feel like I can make informed decisions if I don't know drop rates. I guess if I'm only using it to look at drop rates, I don't feel bad about that. So Melvor Idol, it's the Confused Pirate. Oh, they've got their own wiki. That's beautiful. It's not fucking fandom or something. Addy Sim is 0.22%, 1 in 445. That's achievable, but extremely rare. The Mithril Simi is 1.8%, which is like a 1 in 50, which is much more tolerable. Adamant Knight. Addy Sim is 1 in 48. It's actually, and so is the Adamant Sword, so I have a 4% chance of getting a weapon upgrade if I fight him. It's probably pretty tricky because I have to play pretty attentively, but that should be fine. I'm going to let this cow die. So I basically have a 1 in 24 chance of either getting an Adamant Sword or an Adamant Scimitar, and either would be a substantial upgrade, I assume, from my Mithril Sword. 21% chance to hit. Jesus. He is much nastier. Okay, well, maybe I only get 1 kill against this guy. Obsidian Cape. A cape would be incredible. That's a 1 in 240. One in 240 is an absorbable grind for me. That's basically anything that's like 1 in 500 or lower is tough but doable. Once you start getting above 1 in 500, it becomes not fun, I think. I need to reactivate my prayers, don't I? What caused my prayers to drop? Was it switching enemies? It doesn't like have them on by default. It's gonna take forever to get a kill on this guy. Maybe I'll get super lucky here. 1 in 24 is pretty doable. I didn't think I did. Yeah, it's over here on the left, right? I thought I had like 80 a second ago when I was fighting the cows. Yeah. I'm gonna have to run away from this guy. I mean, I've got plenty of food to fight him, but it's so fucking slow. It'd be great to get an accuracy prayer. I'm getting prayer XP even if I miss, right? It's happening per combat tick. Yeah, I understand that. I just don't know why it dropped earlier when I felt like I had like 80 after swapping enemies. Because I didn't like bury bones in between those steps. God, if I get the 1 in 24, I'm not going to. I just prepare myself to not get it. But it would be so sick to get an early Addy sim here. Don't have enough prayer points. Okay, that's fine. Prayer is at level 6 now. Oh, Jesus. He can nuke me down really quickly. His max hit is 1180. I don't think he got a kill on me. I think it would have been more obvious if I had died. So I assume dying drops your prayers. I need to find something that drops noted bones. I'm guessing the concept of noted items doesn't exist in this. Where like every time it drops bones, it drops into one big stack. I just need the amulet of looting, I guess. So this is teaching me that I thought maybe I can go like force my way through the spider dungeon and just like use a giant stack of food. But I think the answer is definitely not. If this level 69 guy is kicking my ass this hard. Come on. Big money. One more hit. Oh my god. Bones. Balls. Okay, well, it was fun to try. I think we said that the pirate is 0.22%. He's like much safer, but fuck, man. 1 in 445 at the rate at which I'm killing him. If it was safe to AFK him, I would, but it's not because his chance to hit is 43%, which is way too high. I think I need to be getting bones. In fact, I'm wondering if I should just be on chickens, as lame as that is. I know we want a bunch of feathers eventually for fletching. If I sold my feathers before... Steel Scimitar is an 11% chance, so actually quite likely. I guess I could keep pumping Thieving for a bit. So I'd be excited to leave it AFK, but I need to figure out... I guess I'm on this wiki. I just want to know what the skill cap is for adventure mode. Non-combat skill levels cannot go above your combat level. It's that straightforward. So if your combat level is 36, that's the skill cap. Okay. I thought there was like some weird calculation. I guess your combat level must be able to go above 100 then. It can in RuneScape as well. Because the level cap for skills is 120, not 99. Okay. So that's not so bad. I was worried that it was the sum of non-combat levels, where it's like, oh my god, is it a mistake to unlock non-combat skills? But I could still get Thieving to 36 and Cooking to 36 and so on. Okay. That's doable. I still think it's probably more important for me to get like a giant stack of bones so that I can train prayer, because prayer is just free combat levels. I really do not regret taking adventure mode. I can see how it's quite a bit harder than just playing the vanilla game, but I really like what it does to the routing, where you have to choose which skills you want to play as first. And I think like elevating the combat is cool, because there's a lot of cool stuff unlocked behind combat. And I guess it's less cool if you like can just train mining and smithing right away and just get the gear that is a potentially rare drop from these guys. Or if you choose to do that, you're like paying a pretty substantial cost to try it. 140 is the cap based on the formula. Okay. And so I'm tempted to do thieving actively here, but I think what I'm going to do instead is just AFK chickens for bones. I don't think they're going to stack too much stuff. I have to decide what, because if I take magic, that's great, but I don't have runes. If I take range, that's great, but I don't have arrows. Slayer is probably next, because it gets me access to more interesting enemies, especially if this mode is favoring combat. I want to get more interesting enemies with more interesting drops. So yeah, let's AFK on a chicken here. I think my max hit is substantially more than their health, which can be a good thing, right? Like, it sucks because you're getting less XP overall since you're wasting max hit. But if you have a chance, if your chance to one-shot is higher, that can be a good thing, potentially. All right, this loot section is almost certainly going to fill up, but that's okay. We'll come back to it. Almost certainly hit the loot cap over here. Sure did. That's okay. Shit happens. 132 bones, though. Good to see. I keep that running all the time. I feel like you can get kind of decent GP from selling these feathers. Because they drop a shitload of feathers, especially when they're dying this fast. Still only combat 36. I feel like if I'm going to do defense, I have to just like AFK in the morning. Defense does seem kind of important. I don't know. Farming, we still have 27 minutes to go. Is there something that literally only drops bones? Maybe. Headless arrows. Skellington. Possible extra drop of feathers, but it's not guaranteed. Bones? Chests of Witwicks. I could try to go for the Amulet of Strength or the Amulet of Accuracy. Either would be good. The problem with both of these guys is that they drop a bunch of shit I don't have room for in my bank. They're all way more common than the Amulet I would be going for. Let me take a look at what their drop rate is. Hold on. Moist Monster is... Amulet of Strength is 1 in 88. That's actually pretty doable. I thought it was going to be like 1 in 500. Amulet of Accuracy is also 1 in 88. So yeah, I could do that. That's relatively achievable. All right, we're here. We can be attentive for a second. Let's see what I can do with pickpocketing. Still haven't seen these guys. Oh, I guess Bobby's Pocket was one of the rare drops, huh? That's where I got that from. That's pretty good, though. Just suddenly, here's 4,000 gold. When I'm, on average, getting, like, what? Like 50 GP per pull? This is a low enough level on this skill that I feel like I could tab out with it on once I can get to 100% success rate. If you have 100 copies of the amulet, you can upgrade them. That's crazy. So that's good for leaving it AFK. I think I'm just going to keep burning this so that I can eventually AFK this skill. That's very true to RuneScape, where, like, the difference between 99% success chance and 100% success chance is, like, fucking night and day for pickpocketing. Okay, I don't get anything special until 50 mastery. But that's relatively achievable, it looks like. And I guess thieving levels by themselves give me some amount of thieving stealth. So I want to see how much the success rate goes up when I get a level up here. I'm at 62.38% right now. So it's 0.5%-ish whenever I get a mastery level. Is that consistent with what this says? This is thieving stealth. Thieving level 7. Okay. Yeah, I feel like each 1% success chance I get is just fucking huge against these guys. Claim tokens in bank. You know, high 99s because eventually you want to get 99 in everything. Sure. Stealth is giving me 7.73%. Double loot. So stealth is determining my success chance and my double loot chance. I would love to get this down. We will once we get to 50 mastery. That does seem really good to get to 10%, but I feel like I'm going to get to 10% faster once I can actually AFK the guy. What level do you 100% pickpocket men in OSRS? I think it's pretty high. Yeah, they have this wonderful little graph. So with no upgrades, you never, if you have no other upgrades other than thieving levels, you never 100% pickpocket men. At 99, it's a 94% chance to succeed. That's really funny. You can get to 100% if you have the Arduin diary. Okay. Getting lucky from a sneakers drop. One of these. So it's getting to the point where I can almost safely leave it up if I tab out. Not having to heal that often, but I think it really needs to be like almost guaranteed before it would be safe. XP rate's going up very noticeably though. So no matter what thieving you do, you can get sneakers and it gives you plus 40 stealth. That's cool. Is this, where's my equipment? This thing, the gold topaz ring, something special might drop while training skills. Is that the signet ring thing? That's like a, astronomically rare drop. Yeah, that's an RS3 thing. It's like you roll the rare drop table, and then you roll the mega rare drop table, and then you roll the signet ring drop table, and then you have a 1 in 10 chance of getting it. And it's like most players, you could play for. I played for 4,000 hours and never even saw the 1 in 10 table. So in RS3, it like doubles your loot chance. Is to do something similar in this one? 1 in 15,000 across all pickpocketing. That's crazy. I mean, you are pickpocketing a lot. Is this possible area unique? That's similar to a pet drop chance. Does this game have pet drops? Pets are like meme drop rates. They're like 1 in 5,000 to 1 in 20k or something, but it's like you get so many XP drops between level 1 and level 99 that it's actually pretty likely that you will see it for some skills. Yeah, getting that early would be incredible. There are pets, okay. Are they just like cosmetic? I mean, to the extent that you could have something cosmetic in an idle game. Do they do anything? They don't do anything in RuneScape. .42 stealth. Oh, this is giving me more details, isn't it? NPC unique item chance, 0.01%. Minor QOL. Okay. That's cool. I really love seeing the XP rate just really start to skyrocket as I get higher and higher success chance against this guy. Probably tab out here in a second and go do something else, but... Oh, that's pretty intense. So they're not just a rare drop from skilling, you have to like buy them from the shop or something, or obtain them as a drop from somewhere. I wish I could see how much money I've gotten from thieving lately. Tempted when we tab out to do leaping salmon, because I'm not going to be tabbed for that long, so I don't think I have to worry about hitting the XP cap. I can get to level 36, and then I can get 1 XP away from 37. It's probably more important for me to train combat stats. So I'll just do that instead. I feel like getting this guy to 100% is eminently achievable. Stupid low chance per action. Okay, that sounds like pets in RuneScape then. Sure, that makes sense. I like desire to leave this as I alt tab, but I think it's too dangerous still. Let's see. I guess I can do the math on my own region. So he has a, on average, he hits me for like 111. And he hits me for 111 like 30% of the time, 31% of the time. So on average, whenever I pickpocket him, I take 34 damage. And I'm trying to watch my region here. Just went up. See how many thieving ticks it takes me to region here. It's like 3 and a little bit of change. I don't think I'm there yet. I think if I get to like 80% success chance or so, then I'll be basically there. I'm getting this so much faster now. It's fantastic. There's an equilibrium point where I'm regioning about the same amount of damage that I'm taking on average. We're 10 thieving now, which is very exciting. Lots of options for thieving, it looks like. Thieving is a pretty shit skill in old school. Because you have to click every time, and the stun just like slows things down so much. I think you can argue that the existence of some shit skills is good for the health of the game. Kind of like you can argue for why they need to still print bad magic cards, right? But I think they've got a lot of stuff here that makes it a little bit more interesting. I like the idea that it might be good to just camp men for a really long time just because it's AFK. And it's a way that I can actually tab out of the game. It would be lovely if I could AFK this guy for an entire day and get a day's worth of AFK pickpocketing a man. I don't think that's happening this episode because I only have like 34 minutes left. Because time flies when I'm playing Melvor. I've been playing for 15 minutes. I feel like it was like 2 minutes. That's cool. Yeah, that should be enough eventually to pay for the unlocks I need. Because I think I'm doing Slayer next. I think that's if I'm so bound to combat. I don't regret any of my skill unlocks. I guess farming is pretty fucking brutal at 2 hours for now. If it's like RuneScape, like Terranin was saying, that when I get trees will give a like giant burst of XP. It's basically like a daily check health bonus. And they could also do trees where like I can harvest from them repeatedly after they've grown, which would be cool. Okay, I gotta stop staring at this. It's like fucking addictive. I need to go tab to the other games here. So let's go back to... Oh, hey, I got another this thing. Fantastic. Yes. Let's go back to fighting cows or chickens. I'm probably going to unlock crafting before I unlock fletching because I'm probably not going to do ranged for a long time. So let's do cows to get potential cooking XP and potential crafting XP. And they have a higher max health, so my max hit is less wasted. And I'm less likely to cap on loot. Is my argument. All right. All right. This didn't cap. Cows were the right choice. let's go ahead and bury all these bones. Let's turn on our... Oh, we have melee accuracy rating. Beautiful. Just turning it on to level prayer faster, basically. Oh, you only have 2 prayers active at once. All right, well, it's still 2, and I'd rather have it be combat. Get back to pickpocketing here. I would be so happy. We've got 16 minutes left in this stream. Can I get to a point where this is arguably AFK and I can leave it up for a whole day? I think to do that safely, like even if my regen rate roughly equals my the damage I'm taking, I think it has to like way outpace the damage I'm taking to be safe, because if it's rolling for 24 hours, the chance that I die is way too high. Okay. I would be so happy to get level 5 farming. We're level 4 farming now. Please, Lord, let a couple of these trigger next time. Okay, mastery levels are getting kind of expensive for this dude now. Check those checkpoints again. So 10%, 1.7 million XP. Is this going up over time? I feel like this was a smaller number before. Doing math here. What's making it go up? So that's 32,000 steals. I currently steal once every 3 seconds. So if I let it run... No, it's times 3. Divided by 60 seconds, divided by 60 minutes, divided by 24 hours. Oh, I fucked something up. Hold on. 1.7 million divided by 52 times 3 seconds. Divided by 60 seconds in a minute, divided by 60 minutes in an hour. So it's 27 hours. If this doesn't change, and if I had a 100% success rate to get a high enough checkpoint to get this plus 30 stealth while thieving, which would be really cool. I almost get it from letting it AFK for 1 day. I feel like I would feel comfortable leaving this AFK for 24 hours if my regen doubled my my damage taken. I want to look up what the regen calculation is going to be. I'm going to look it up really quick on the wiki. HP regeneration. Hit points. Player passively regenerates 1% of their max HP every 10 seconds. Okay. So... let's do every 30 seconds because that's easy for me to math. So every 30 seconds I will regen 930 HP. I think that's right. No, not 930. 93. It's not 10%, it's 1%. In that time, I will have gotten 10 pickpockets off. On average, I take 111 damage whenever I get stunned. And I get stunned now 27% of the time. So right now I'm taking about 300 damage every 30 seconds and healing 93 damage. So that's not great. But every time I get plus 1% success rate, the math gets like much better for me. It's better than linear, right? Would be good to train HP more. So just go back to training on AFKing on cows. So the problem is whatever I AFK on, if I let it go for 24 hours, fishing is going to cap, cooking is going to cap, thieving I can't let run unless if I get to the success rate that I need in the next 10 minutes. And if I AFK combat, I'm just saying goodbye to most of the loot. Because I'll cap loot in like, 10 minutes. It might be worth it to AFK defense for 24 hours because that's going to give me a bunch of combat level increases. It'll let me qualify for adamant armor if I wanted to try to fight the Addy Knight again. I think if I do attack to 40 and then switch to just focusing on strength, I'm tempted to try to get as much of my strength levels as possible from fishing. I bet there's some kind of equilibrium state where you get enough strength levels from fishing that it maintains your combat levels so that your fishing doesn't get capped. If you're doing barbarian fishing, I mean. But I probably need to have more of a head start for it than I currently have. I guess getting to 50 mastery here would be good. Maybe it's not actually. Because if I get to 50, then I get, where is it? Here. I get a reduced thieving interval, which is great for active training, but bad for AFK training because it means that I get more chances to get stunned in the same region period. This game is like getting close to the edge of making me make a spreadsheet. I can make a spreadsheet calculator to tell me what is the success rate at which I cross over, and it's now perfectly safe to AFK this, right? Yeah, that makes sense. It's fantastic if I'm already safe with a higher stealth. And stealth goes up, stealth levels up correlated with thieving level, right? So I could pickpocket a goblin. Wondering if it's even close to comparable, because it's like 41% success rate for 10 XP. Don't think that's worth it. Guess he has... Oh. Well, it is a way to get normal logs without needing to unlock woodcutting, because this guy require... No, it does... I guess it requires fire making and smithing, but it doesn't hard require woodcutting. Okay. It's interesting. I don't want to fuck with these gloves. These are they're Iron Men aren't allowed to get them in S3. Skill capes, materials, township. It might be getting close to the point where I go ahead and I buy the compost because I just do not get enough farming ticks. Previously, it's like the GP cost was too high to justify, but I feel like I might need it now. Each use of compost increases the crop survival chance by 10%. Yeah, I think I got to get those farming levels like ASAP since I'm only going to get a couple per stream. The gloves, yeah. I just don't super care for their design is the problem. .59 stealth versus 110 perception. God, it would be so sick to get that sneakers drop you were talking about. Thieving level is plus 13 because I am thieving level 13, so I'm getting 1 per thieving level. And then every man mastery level is also giving me 1. I think I'm going to have to AFK combat. I've come to terms with that. I'm going to just have to sacrifice most of the loot and take 24 hours of defense XP or something. I guess it's also hit points XP. So that's combat levels, and it's going to make this easier because I'll get more regen. The level 16 target has a rare drop that increases stealth. It rare like 1 in 500 rare. It's one of the Golbins. It would be big if I could get it. Okay, I think I would feel comfortable leaving this AFK as I close out the other games for today's episode. So let me get stunned one more time and heal. And then we'll come back and close out Melvor. I guess this is going up over time. Where do I see what causes my mastery pool XP to go up? Is that based on like my base level or something? This is getting increasingly good for GP. I feel like I'm passively getting more GP than before. Okay, now I got stunned. Be back here in a second. All right, back to close out Melvor. I did let it sit for a bit. Oh, I'm so close to 50 mastery here. Can I just force it? I can almost force it. I let it AFK for a bit and it was relatively safe, but it's not let it sit for 24 hours. It's nowhere close to let it sit for 24 hours safe. So perhaps next episode we can pull that off and then have it hit the moon in between episodes. But let me try to get to 50 here. So I've been getting fishing tokens just from fishing. Can I get thieving tokens from thieving as well? Or do those come from some other source? Come on, game. I just haven't lucked out and gotten one yet, I suppose. There we go, 50. So now this is 2.8 seconds. Which is a lot faster because it also slows the cooldown period while I'm stunned. We're up to 78%, so I think we can get there. I think it's doable. Skill tokens always come from doing the action. Sometimes you can get one from something else like a chest. Okay. Love to keep AFKing fishing because it's worth so much resources, but I don't think I can do so safely, unfortunately. Message in a bottle. Read item. Secret fishing area unlocked. That's just a one-time thing and then I can sell it for money. Is that how that works? I want to see what the deal is with that. Secret area, seahorse. Huh. Well, I can't let that AFK. It's not feasible. So we're going to AFK... I know I can AFK cows completely safely. So I'll leave these on. They'll just die. That's fine. And I won't be able to loot everything, but maybe we'll get a bunch of level ups before next time. I think I'm going to go ahead and do defense. Kind of boring, but defense is lower, so it should train faster, which theoretically should get me more combat levels, which should increase the level cap for the other skills. Cool. Excited to play more of this on Wednesday.